Hi everyone, it's Crystal Hill here from Hill House Publishing, and today I am speaking with another contributor of Inspired Living, a guide to ignite joy and prosperity, which if you've been following me at all on social media, you will know that we launched last week and we got #1 international best-selling book in 4 countries and about 22 categories overall in Amazon, which is just absolutely a phenomenal result. So we are in Australia, Canada, US, and the UK. We got these #1s. So I'm so excited, Nina, that you are here today and sharing a little bit about your work and your journey with this book and how people can come in contact with you. So let's start with who you are, where you're from, and what magic you are bringing into the world.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I'm Nina Acosta, the founder of Transcend the Light. And so I'm located in Florida, so in the US. And what I do is help women step into their power. And it's really uncovering their most authentic self, right? Because a lot of us have strayed away from who we are created to be. And we forget that we are so divinely created and so powerful. And so it's really about unraveling who you are as a woman and really embracing it and owning it so you can shine your light to the world.
It's such important work. And in your work, what is the typical woman that comes to you? Like, what kind of problems does she have?
Wow. So I would say if there is a common theme, it's not owning their voice, right? It's kind of like, and it's so funny because a lot of times the people that we attract are the people that, with the problems that we've struggled with, the issues that we've struggled with. And so a lot of times it's basically women that don't own their voice. They're afraid to speak up. They're not stepping into their confidence, or they're having burnout, anxiety, overwhelm. A lot of them are female entrepreneurs, but it all really comes down to the one foundation of self-love and self-worth, right? So you have that as the foundation, and then you have all these little branches that stem from that. So that's the common theme that I see in a lot of my clients is that they just aren't sure on how to love themselves because they've been giving their power away to the world instead of, owning, embracing their divine connection.
Exactly. So what comes to mind is a lot of people pleasing, not putting up boundaries to honor
Yeah.
and love ourselves because we're giving so much and we want to be superwoman, but really it just burns us out.
Yeah. And it's just really learning your own flow too, because, that goes into the divine feminine and the masculine and just really elevating that frequency into a higher frequency instead of operating, and that lower frequency, like I'm not good enough, or I have to, work, get things done. And it's so funny because, and I love it too, because the clients that are attracted to me, it's like a mirror, of things that I used to deal with. And so, it's cool to see that you're like, wow, the energetics portions of it, it's kind of like I've been there, I've done that. And so I know how to guide them and lead them through that.
Yeah, beautiful. And in your chapter, of course, you are sharing your journey and how you've got like the specifics of your journey and how you've come to where you are now. I'm wondering if there is something that you could, like a specific memory or a specific moment really where it shifted for you.
Well, I think there's always been like little moments in time, but I would want to say the biggest transformation was when I went to the retreat in Colorado. It was just kind of like a veil was lifted up. It was almost like I saw the world completely different. And I knew when I came back, I wasn't going to be the same person, but I didn't really have any intentions when I went. I just knew it was something that I needed to do. Right. And so I just took that inspired action, got the plane ticket, went out there, didn't know anybody. And it was such a beautiful experience. I can't even really you have to go visit, the heartland yourself to see and experience the sacred land and the energy. that's out there. But I would say the biggest shift was that moment, going to that event, just, picking up my things and just trusting my intuition and just going. And then since then, I mean, it's been a great ride. It's been a great wild ride. It's just so many shifts, coming through, and I'm constantly learning and shifting. And that was one of the things, is like, I wanted to learn their techniques so I can share it with the world, because I've had, in my chapter, if you've read it, there's a lot going on in there. And and I've also been to, psychologists and everything like that, like sitting on the couch and talking about what I thought, was wrong with me, which there was nothing really wrong with me, and I did never make as much progress as I had in like a 2-day weekend. So I was just like, wow, the tools are so, so powerful.
I love that. And really what I'm hearing is that you trusted your intuition to go and buy the plane ticket and go and do this thing for yourself. You said yes to yourself and took inspired action. So, and that really is the biggest transformation. And that's what you're providing to your clients now. So anybody listening who feels like, yes, I am really in a treadmill. I am really burnt out. I do put everybody else first. I don't speak my truth. If that is there, then I really encourage you to get in touch with Nina, and I'll put your website here as well, where you're offering a free consultation to see if this is in alignment for people, because there might be that yes now, but then to go really deeper into it is probably like it's a beautiful offer. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I am offering a free consult, and it's at ninaacosta.com, free consult. And what it is really, we're just going to have a conversation, like an open conversation. I do hold a deep, loving space of unconditional love. And within that conversation, we can dive into anything that you want to dive into. Again, a lot of times, it takes more than one session, but I do offer a lot of value for people for one session, something like, and giving them practical tools that they can implement in their life right away in order to make the shift.
I love that. Yes. So I'll leave that there for people to jump on and check it out. When you came and said yes to contributing to inspired living, I was going to ask, what did you expect? What were you hoping to gain from it? And what actually happened? Like, what was it like for you?
Yeah. So honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea what to expect. So I was pretty open to the experience. But what I experienced was what I was mentioning earlier when we're, backstage, is that it was such an amazing process. Not only one, for my own healing, but two, just the way you put everything together. It was so easy, It was so easy. And like, there was really, all you had to do was really write your chapter, pretty much. And, you had your team of people help us when we needed it. You gave us the meditations to really tap into, ourselves and our higher selves. But it was just so easy. And it was such a healing process for me. So because I had to really reflect on my life. And I was like, wow, I have come, pretty far, because we forget to reflect and just like pause, right? And be present and honor ourselves and honor our journey and how far we've come.
And this can be, as you said, it's such a powerful process to actually sit down and reflect. Because in our, especially Western culture, we just always, done, next.
Yeah.
that race for something rather than just pausing and celebrating and being and allowing. So it feels like, when we're coming into a project like this and writing a chapter in a book, or it always requires us to tune in and to feel deeply into what has been and where we are and what we are sharing with the world. And so this is really the next book. That's what the next book is doing as well. The next book is called Inspired Creators, So it's like, how do we create our life? How do we, the subtitle is embracing the magic of your soul mission. So it's really feeling into, when did I find out about my soul mission? How am I embracing that? How am I showing up in the world with that and as that? And, you know, what has led me to this place? So it's a very similar kind of reflection and journey where people really can deepen into their own inner celebration of their life, really.
Yeah, it is. And I loved the meditations you sent over. It really, came down to, because if you think about it, because we don't reflect, so we don't really, honor ourselves, or we don't forgive ourselves, in the process. And we don't even really think that we need that, it's just kind of like, we've been there, done that, let's just move on, let's just push through it, or we compartmentalize and put it in a box. And like, we don't want to deal with that until it starts manifesting in our life, like 800 different ways. And then we have to deal with it if we want a different result.
Yeah, so the meditations you're talking about, there was some beautiful meditations, both done by myself, but also recommended by others to really, because when we're uncovering stuff, right, it's easy to beat ourselves up in many respects. And so to then have something that holds you in a loving container in form of a meditation, to reframe, to forgive, to open up, to expanding more, that I think that's really important. And having a background as a transformational coach, I know that journey, and so it's really, this is my joy to meet the contributors on all levels in that way.
Yeah, it was definitely an amazing experience, and I would definitely recommend you to anybody that's interested in writing a book, because it was so easy. And I like easy,
Yeah, I love that. Exactly. It's just ticking the boxes, doing what you're following, just handing the thing in on the deadline and looking over it again. And that's
there's just
pretty
so
much
much guidance there. I mean, I was amazed. I mean, I didn't have any expectations because it's my first go, and so I was just like, wow, okay. So it was great.
Beautiful. Any closing thoughts, anything that you would like to leave with those listening in form of an inspiration? And of course, I'm going to just put up our book again, to buy Inspired Living. It's up on my website, and it will take you to whichever country you are in. And we'd love to get some reviews as well, because the more reviews we get, the more Amazon will show it to people who, might just pick up one chapter, read one chapter, and it will transform something within them or activate something that can really change their lives to live in an inspired way.
Yeah, I would say, if there was any closing thoughts, I would say, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and don't give up on yourself. Because a lot of times, if you're sitting there and if you're pondering, thinking about things that you've done in your past, which I don't like to call them mistakes because they are lessons, then it's ready to be healed. If something comes up in your conscious mind, it's ready to be healed. And all it does is really just take one baby step, one baby action in the right direction. And eventually it will be a compilation, of actions. And then you will get that shift. So just don't give up on yourself. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give up. And you know what? It's about you only lose when you stop playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
That is another way of kind of putting it. As long as you stay in motion, putting one foot in front of the other, and coming to somebody like you can potentially put some perspective on what's going on in somebody's life, and providing just that comfort that we sometimes need when we are going through a lot of changes. And a lot of people are going through a lot of changes at the moment with everything that's going on. It's designed for us to really come into full alignment and into our soul purpose.
Right,
so thank you for doing the work that you're doing, Nina.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Beautiful. Thanks everyone for listening, and thank you, Nina, for being here, and we'll see you again another time.
Bye.